Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
What's the quickest way to get out of fear when I start feeling fear?
By acknowledging, first of all, what it is. What is it? What does fear mean? It means my inner being, right here, right now, focusing on exactly the same thing that I'm focusing on, has a differing opinion or perspective. So what did that information tell you? Oh, well then maybe my attention to it is unnecessary also. By the time you feel fear about something, you have quite a bit of momentum of thought. So it's not a belief that you're just going to drop by the wayside all at once, but at least acknowledging that there's a belief present that isn't doing you any good, that you don't need to continue to perpetuate. And this is the thing that we really want you to hear. Hindering beliefs will go away if you stop focusing on them. They will not stay active, and they will not continue to have an impact in your experience. That's why this no is a good. So this is what we want you to say to yourself. I'm worried about this. No. I really should knuckle under and get this figured out. No. In other words, treat yourself like we're asking you to treat everyone else. Don't let anyone, especially yourself, take you to those places that don't feel good. Your alignment and your wellness and your happiness and your joy and your connection and your enthusiasm and your passion and your friskiness and all that you deem wonderful is like that cork that is bobbing up there on the surface, and only you can hold it under the water. And when you let go of it, it will bob again. But you have beliefs that you protect and perpetuate and gather together in groups to rationalize and defend that don't serve you. And if they don't feel good, they aren't good for you. It really is that simple.
People will think you're being evasive or you have something to hide if you don't say, well, this is what happened to me. Not that I really care.
Oh, really?
People think.
Nice cover. So what you're really saying, and they might not be ready to hear this from you, but what would be appropriate for you to acknowledge in this moment is, I'm having a little bit of trouble here because I can't decide right now momentarily if I should please you so you don't think I'm a weirdo and you don't think I'm hiding something, rather than my inner being. I'm going to choose a less good feeling thought in order to satisfy you and your nosiness.
No.
Here's something that's fun if you want to tiptoe lightly into this, because we are a little bold and people don't usually like us. If someone asks a probing question to which you know the answer is not life-giving to you. In other words, we're not talking about it being life-taking, but if it's not life-giving, then why do it? So you might start out more easily by, rather than just saying no, by just simply saying, why do you ask? Give them an opportunity to really care a rat's ass about you. Well, we wanted to be emphatic there. Because a lot of times people are asking you because they're wanting to defend something themselves, they're wanting to rationalize something themselves, or they've got an active vibration going that they're trying to support. It's a normal thing if you've got a worrisome active vibration going that you're wanting to support, to try to draw from others who will help you support it. But you've just decided that you're not going to play that unsupportive, not helpful game anymore. And so if somebody is probing, you might say, why do you ask? And if they're really interested, then they might evoke from you something that is of value. I was just wondering how you got to this bright, happy place. Well, then you say, well, because I've just been living life and I look mostly forward and I'm just having a really good time, and being lighthearted seems to be my nature, and I care about the way I feel and I guide my thoughts accordingly, and things are always working out for me. And if that's really what they wanted to hear, then they will encourage that. But if that isn't what they wanted to hear, then they will be annoyed by your happiness. And our question to you is, do you have an obligation to go as low as they are so they don't feel bad about their not feeling good? That's really what we're talking about here. You can't get sick enough to help sick people get well. You can't get poor enough to help poor people become prosperous. You can't be confused enough to help somebody find clarity. Going where they are, if it doesn't feel good to you, is not helpful to them, and it is certainly not helpful to you. We don't want you to feel defensive, and we really don't want you to push against them. We just want you to practice this in your own mind, because if you've decided that you are not someone who wants to lend an ear or be a sounding board for things that are not going well for another person, once you decide that, they will stop coming to you. And as long as they are coming to you, then there's an active vibration within you that's calling them. And so the no is really more for you than it is for them. No, I really don't want to go there anymore. Well, why? Why not? And don't say enough that you hook them in. Just stay light. When you're light, heavy doesn't come to you. Light comes to you when you're light. Law of attraction says it must be so. So sometimes you smile and you pretend that you feel one way when you really feel another. But law of attraction never makes a mistake. Ever, 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 ever. Ever. Law of attraction never makes a mistake. So you have an opportunity. We loved your opening words to us. Everything is going so well for me. We want you all to know that it always is. You've just got to let yourself be the realizer of more of the well that's already going well for you. And we know it's annoying. We talked about the vortex, all this good stuff that's in there. We said, get in the vortex until you didn't want to hear us anymore. Get in the vortex. And then we began saying, you just got to find this vibrational place, and what's in the vortex will come over here where you are. Because you were saying to us, how do I get the money out of the vortex and into the bank? How do I turn that vibration into a reality? And we say, you do it a little bit at a time, but once it starts flowing, acknowledge how you were feeling, what starts the flow, and notice what slows down the flow. Notice what brings clarity to you. Notice what thoughts you think that make you feel frisky, and notice what thoughts you think that make you feel depressed, and then choose accordingly. Yeah. Did we get there for you?
Yes.
Something more?
No, I'm good.
Really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, really